How can a person make a lot of money? How to accumulate your wealth from 100 billion, 1 million, 1 million. How can one make a lot of money? How can a young person in his 20s? How to accumulate wealth from 10,000, 100,000. Many of the ideas in this video come from these big shots. This methodology is useful for me. The upper left corner is the serial number. You can watch them in order. No nonsense. Let's start. What is money? Is money just the number in the account? In fact, the amount of wealth a person owns is an indicator of a person's contribution to society, which is also a person's net contribution to society. We need to avoid illegal and criminal situations. Those who dare to rob will go to jail. No need to consider how to understand the statement that wealth is net contribution. For example, Xiaoming is an operator in a big company in Shanghai. 6,000 yuan per month, 13 months salary, with 10,000 yuan deposit. He really wants to buy Xiaomi crispy tarts, but he held back. He asked DeepSeek and allowed to swear. Then, Xiaoming gave up this idea. So Xiaoming works hard every day. The 6,000 yuan salary he earns at work is Xiaoming's contribution to society. Every day, Xiaoming needs to commute, renting, eating, and so on. All these cost money. After a month's work, he saved 1,500 yuan. So, Xiaoming spent 4,500 yuan. Is the 4,500 yuan that Xiaoming demands. Then, the remaining 1,500 yuan is the net contribution of Xiaoming to society. Xiaoming's boss may earn 20,000 yuan per month, but he is a spendthrift, even if he contributes more to society, but he also takes more. So, his net contribution to society is zero. A doer makes a lot of contributions to society. How does society repay him? Through money. Fix his contribution to society and give it to the doer. When he gets the money, he can mobilize more resources in society to better serve the society. Let's continue to promote it. If you want to earn more money, you must serve the society well and meet the needs of many people in society. Or, you invest your money in a company. This company is like a Mecca. Your deposit will be invested in the Pacific Rim Mecca. You are a screw and enjoy the growth benefits of the Mecca. So, we can summarize that the more wealth a person has, the greater their net contribution to society. For example, Xiaomi Mix 7. It meets our commuting needs and provides extremely strong emotional value needs. I heard that many people's cars have become Redmi Max. That's why Lei got the down payment experience card. Such a mindset is indeed somewhat different from the real society. For example, if a person's salary is suppressed, but people will eventually return to the market. Just like stocks, emotions are short-term, but in the long run, it must be a bearer. It must be supported by actual performance. A person like Shou Shouji can't earn 3,000 yuan per month in a small county. So, this principle is closer to the truth of wealth operation. Many people always think money is evil. Thinking so is doomed to bind you to poverty and unkind to the poor. There must be many such people, but more ordinary people who are rich. People have emotions and will help others. So the rich have more ability to help. Don't think negatively. So we need to establish a consensus that most people can't go to a good university because many of us are filtered out. So when it comes to making money, self-discipline and hard work, many people naturally want to do it. It's intuitive. That is, they want to improve their academic qualifications. Education is very valuable. I agree and disagree with the theory of uselessness, but I also oppose all problems, solving problems with the idea of improving education. For example, a good college graduate enters a big company. In the promotion process, will the leader do this? He will first find an assistant to say, "You help me see whose university is better, and I will promote the one with a better university." It's impossible. The leader will finally rely on one's ability and the leader's trust. So, if you are in high school, then it's great to go to a particularly good university. But if you miss it, then it's okay. It doesn't matter. Don't have too many fantasies about education. It's a icing on the cake, not a lifesaver, because the opportunity behind it, the cost is too high. Second, there are 3 income models for a person to be rich. What are they? Next, we need to tell a story. In a big mountain, there is a small village. The yellow land is always dry. The villagers, they would select the strongest men to fetch water outside. The water carriers are very respected in the village. Xiaobai and Xiaoming were responsible for fetching water. The girls in the village also liked these 2 people very much. At first, they just carried water during the day and enjoyed themselves at night. But one day, Xiaobai suddenly realized. He said we shouldn't fetch water every day, and then stopped. Could there be a way to keep the water coming? Xiaoming didn't want to change this life and didn't want to do it. So, Xiaobai later only carried water for half a day, and the other time, he tinkered with the pipes himself. Later, he stopped fetching water and only studied the pipes. 10 years later, Xiaoming bought a car and a house with a lawn, which looks very glamorous. But he had to fetch water every day. Otherwise he couldn't pay off the loan. He couldn't pay it back. After a lot of failures, Xiaobai finished the construction of the drinking water pipeline. So he doesn't have to fetch water every day. The villagers also bought more and cheaper water. But Xiaoming lost his job. During the 10 years of failure, Xiaobai summarized the most efficient and most convenient way to build water pipes. People in other villages also want to build. Many people are willing to pay for this. Learn from Xiaobai's method. Finally, Xiaobai wrote his experience into books and videos. Everyone who buys the knowledge product will pay Xiaobai a portion of the royalties. Xiaoming's unemployment situation. Xiaobai also saw it and couldn't bear it. Finally, he hired Xiaoming to help to look after the pipes in the village. Xiaobai's income is also increasing. He bought some houses to rent out and invested in a hotel. He holds a 45% stake in the hotel. He can earn money even while sleeping. He also bought a villa in a coastal city for himself. During the holidays, he takes his family on vacation. So far, Xiaobai has built 3 wealth pipelines. The first is to operate his own water pipeline, which meets the villagers' huge water demand. The second is that Xiaobai turns his knowledge and thinking into books and videos. The third is to create an investment portfolio. The income from renting out his own house and hotel shares. So, looking back at Xiaobai's process actually corresponds to different stages of our lives. Income can be divided into 2 types. The first type is temporal income, which is limited by the boss, and working hours, which is what we call labor and work income. So, if your income mainly depends on this, it's hard for you to get rich. The other is value-based income. It's like you have built a pipeline for drinking water. It is not limited by the time of day, because this pipeline and capital never sleep. There are 3 channels for this kind of value income. Can be roughly divided into operating a business, creating intellectual property, enjoying the low marginal cost of replication income. Finally, build your own investment portfolio. Operating a business is high risk and high reward, and can be continuously scaled up. It requires a high self-iterative ability of people. It requires a lot of time and money. The biggest problem with operating a business is that the products provided may be imitated by competitors and malicious low-price competition. So we need to pay special attention to the word moat. For example, the moat of Mutai and Tencent is high. The characteristics of creating intellectual property. It doesn't require a lot of startup costs. They are protected by law. The cost of reproduction is extremely low. For example, a writer, creators, composers, software engineers, inventors, and so on. These can all receive copyright income. But it requires a high level of human knowledge. To build your own portfolio, everyone can do it. But the drawback is that you must have capital first. Otherwise, if you deposit 10,000 yuan, after spending a lot of effort, and you get 100% of the profit, but the final profit is still very small. In fact, these 3 different income models correspond to 3 major stages of our lives. 3 stages of life. When we leave school, our time to independently challenge the copy begins. The first stage is when we are young, from 20 to 30 years old. We are often very poor during this period, and we are busy as dogs. Everyone is the same, because our goal is to earn a lot of money. So, let's analyze what many great people did. What did they do during this stage? Lei Jun studied programming day and night at Wuhan University, learned circuit boards and soldering circuits. As for Dong, started selling his own CDs, and also closed his restaurant. As for Luo Yonghao, he locked himself in the house. He bought dozens of caddies of success, learning to cheer himself up, which are kind of poisonous chicken soup, and studied English crazily. These people study things with great enthusiasm. They are not brilliant. Once they start something, they are fully engaged. What's interesting is that they all use their own talents, which is their strength. Now, Lei Jun is still working on algorithms, hardware, new energy vehicles, and software-related things. Dong's supply chain has reached the top level. So, in the early stage of life, what is the most important thing? Know what kind of material you are. We can't just rely on what we love to decide the direction of our life, but to identify your talents or what you are good at. Let me give you an example of myself. My first video went viral with 1 million views. It's true, otherwise think about it. When I first started, no one watched my videos. No one watched it, and then I posted 100 videos and no one watched. I couldn't keep going. I'm also talented in reading and writing. I can always take what I have read and organize them into an article with my own thoughts. After the audience read it, they will give me some positive feedback. I don't advocate spending too much time on something. Really, you need to know your life. The most important thing is to develop your strengths and ignore your shortcomings first, and improve your strengths to the highest. If you can't find this point, you can ask the people around you. What you do, you get positive feedback. You don't need to put much effort into it. Without much effort, while others have to work hard, you just do it easily, and you do it well. Even if you ignore your talent, your friends may notice it, so you may need to ask the people around you for this kind of talent. Let's give some specific examples, such as your sales ability, or you are good at promoting products. When you recommend something, others will buy it, or you can make others trust you, or you can put yourself in others' shoes. Such people are great at sales. They are amazing. Don't have a prejudice against sales. Tim Cook of Apple is a master of this and master of this and master and top salesperson. Or you have musical talent. You can learn musical instruments quickly and have strong concentration and easy to immerse yourself. Or you are immersed in one thing. Or you love science fiction and you have a strong ability to absorb new knowledge and have a wild imagination. Or you're good at games. This can also make money, whether you are a game media or as a game anchor, which can bring you high income. People who like gossip can also do it. You can dig deep into your friends' social networks. You can be a reporter, or the leader of a local community. In this entertainment-oriented world, whether it's playing games, gossiping, or tarot card reading, or have strong communication skills. As long as you are better than others, you can dig it, you can pile them up, and build a career out of it. In the process of discovering your talents and accumulating expertise, think about what it's like playing for you while others find it very difficult. Some people can play the Dark Souls series of games, can beat the game with their faces covered. This is talent. Some people don't want to play after dying twice. Language talent can also be counted. Do you learn languages quickly? ADHD and ENFP types can also do creative work like me. We don't need stability. What we need is this kind of burst. As long as we can reach the peak, unless you have a super bad start. In short, there are opportunities for everything. You really don't need to worry. Bro, your future will definitely get better and better. As I said before, pessimism is always right, but optimism often leads to success. We should give full play to, and give it your all. The amount of wealth we have is a net contribution to society. That is, we have to give a lot to get what we want. Contribute a lot, and benefit others first. We must develop our talents based on our own gifts. Don't worry too much about how much you have paid, as long as your ability is improving, because working doesn't earn much money. To be honest, I'm just improving my skills. If you really can't find your talent, then do what you like, which is also good. At least when you don't eat or drink, you want to do it well. That's great. You like to think, right? You are better than ordinary people when you think. Many people don't know what they want to do. To be honest, 90% of jobs are just to make a living, as long as it's okay. That is, most people are waiting for you to break through. Waiting for you to break through. Don't be obsessed with the concept of connections. Because the people you know are not your connections. But those who you can help are your connections. So the core is to be strong yourself. No one in society tells us this. There is also a cheat code at this stage, which is meeting noble people. Under the guidance of a noble person, you can learn from them. It sounds a bit ridiculous, but noble people are different, but are often much higher than you. In fact, it's true. Many things are taught in a batch in a classroom that you can't learn. It must be one-on-one, and you learn some very specific details. But you have to figure out every little detail yourself, which takes a long time. So if you can accept one-on-one teaching for a period of time, then your skills will definitely improve. So how can you have the physique to be helped by nobles? First, you must be noticed by the noble person, or have already achieved something under your leadership. You don't like to train pure rookies, do you? Secondly, you must have a deep admiration. You must truly admire him from the bottom of your heart. You must truly admire him, and stand with him. Thirdly, you must respond to everything. Optimistic, and don't burden others. That is, even if you are asking for help, you also think from the other person's perspective. This is a very subtle point, which many people can't do. Fourthly, others can see hope in you, and many people hope you can succeed, rather than a large number of people, but not a large number of people. Fifth, you are willing to help others, and become a noble person for others. These 5 points combined is the quality of attracting noble people between 20 and 30. Our core task is to learn and study hard, based on your own foundation, and see how to polish yourself better. And the core of making big money. The first point is your ability. You have enough knowledge. Otherwise, even if you can make something, even if you can meet the user's needs, it will be very shallow. You can be quickly replaced by others. So we still need to be the sharpest soldiers. The second stage of life is from 30 to 45 years old. The main task of this stage is creation, is to have your own ability. How to maximize this ability. Archimedes needs to lift the earth. What are the conditions? The first condition is strength. We should have this. If you have the ability, the second condition is to have a fulcrum. My own understanding is that you can integrate your abilities and create a product, which means users can buy it, and they can buy it. For example, publishing a book, you turn your knowledge and thoughts into a team to connect online. Parents desire for their children to become talents, and provide courses, and provide follow-up information. This kind of service can be purchased. But first you have to be able to do it. And then users have the touch point and opportunity to buy it. In fact, in our daily lives, any product in the supermarket, there is a large team behind it. Or you were a real estate salesperson before, and you keep studying the real estate industry you are in, and become a real estate expert. And you can receive national consultations, or a jack of all trades. For example, local users. Users want to meet their needs, they find you, and you talk about it. And it's true, which is close to the operation of the city. You can meet your users' needs well, and help solve real estate related problems. Then you are great. Or you know cars very well. You can do a live stream to help people choose cars. Or if you want to start a bigger business. This entrepreneurship is not a whim. You must be a master in the industry, and have a good reputation. You need to understand, and then the chance of success is the greatest. So the first step is to get the product to the market. Regardless of the form of presentation, people must be able to buy it first. The third condition for leveraging the earth is to find a lever. What is the current mainstream lever? What is the current mainstream lever? The first is human leverage. You buy others' time and energy with money, to help you do what you want to do. You have the ability to hire others. It's actually quite impressive to say that. But beware of overexpansion risks. Many people's capital chains are broken like this. And management skills also need continuous learning to use it well. When Steve Jobs was at his worst, he was directly kicked out of Apple. Human leverage can also lead to capital leverage, such as bankers or old money families. I don't know much about these. If you know, please share in the comment section. The next lever, which are collectively called products with zero copy. This leverage can be books, media, movies, and codes. Short videos are a good form. One-time investment can generate traffic. Everyone uses their own time to watch it. A video you produce in one time is like having a one-on-one conversation with tens of thousands of people, or hundreds of thousands or millions of people. This is compound interest. In our last video we talked about, the reason why working can't make you rich, is that time is locked. One job, one income. Capital, books, videos and so on that can break the time lock, are all levers. At the age of 30 to 40, if you are not capable enough, it's okay to make up for it. If you have enough ability, you can use your abilities and amplify it through leverage, to see if you can integrate a product. Regardless of how it sells, integrate it first, and then do it. As the saying goes, you need to make a shit first, and then optimize it slowly. So launch it first, and then iterate slowly, and see where there are problems, and where it can be optimized. At this age, actually, everyone can't do without two actions. The first is the construction of the product, and the second is sales. No one can do without sales. So I suggest that if you are 20 years old, first you haven't found your talent, and you haven't found your passion. You can really consider this job of sales, if you haven't found your passion. But you have a relative preference for something, you should have a general idea. So you can see if you can find a job in the field of your favorite thing, find a sales job. There are actually many books on the market. There are many great people. The core ability I think is you are always online. You have your own opinions and thoughts. And then you can stand in the customer's perspective, helping customers save money and worry and do every order with great care. Build a good image of yourself, and form your own reputation. Then establish multiple repurchases. The core is to like what you sell, and help customers in a practical way. So in your 30s, with their own abilities, and can build things and know that sales can be amplified through leverage, it won't be bad. The third stage of life is after the age of 40. A person's life reaches around the age of 40. they will truly experience a significant increase in wealth. At this time you have money. The core at this stage is 2 words. Equity. Dude, I don't recommend individual stocks. I won't send private messages to anyone saying what this is like, or any opportunities. If I message you privately, it must be a fake account. Don't believe it. But let's get back to the point. Owning shares is the key to getting rich. Your income from work is earned by your time. Stop working. Stop earning. But if you own corporate equity, passive income will come. No matter what you are doing, the company is running, it will generate passive income for you. If you don't pay enough attention to equity, whether you are a doctor or an executive, they will face the threat of time lock. What about after retirement? Your income will stop, and there is no way to achieve breakthroughs. We have discussed before that the salary you receive must be less than the value you create. Turn the money in your hand as a screw in the mecha. The company is the mecha, and enjoy the positive benefits brought by the robots running. Of course, at the same time, we will also bear the company's poor management and downward risks. And we have many ways to avoid this risk. So, after the age of 40, the key is to own equity, and a lot of equity. Whether it is buying shares in the secondary market, or you start your own business, or starting a business in the primary market with a lot of equity. So, how can we make a lot of money through equity? 4 words. Value. After we are over 30, for the commodities in our lives, or in the industry you are engaged in, there are great products, very powerful companies, and enterprises. You will have a sense of them. Behind every excellent enterprise, especially those that are listed, they are excellent, but not explosive. This is an opportunity, based on your own knowledge, and identify it as particularly excellent. If a company is particularly excellent, and has excellent profitability, and has a lot of money in the account, but the stock price is particularly low, this situation is an opportunity. Of course, when it comes to buying stocks, we still need to review its fundamentals, whether it's expensive, and calculate the valuation, and then finally make a decision. How certain your perception, how sure you are about this opportunity. You can place as many chips as you can, and wait for the flowers to bloom, but you have to bear the downside risk. This is actually a way to make big money, rather than constantly chasing popular deposits, and moving frequently. Finally, a big negative line. It's really important to hold the equity directly, but buying stocks, the odds of winning are too low. I don't recommend you to buy any stocks. Don't blindly chase hot topics, but to find value depressions. Use your knowledge and experience to judge, and bet heavily when risk management is done. How to build your own the overall compound interest system. We have some ideas. Later, we will have some very smart ways to avoid these risks. Okay, that's all for this video. We'll end here. In our next video, we will talk about how to implement it. See you in the next video.